Hello. If you're a new trader in the stock market or you're thinking about becoming a trader in the stock market, I record my trades every day. So your trading experience and growth will be easier and faster than my experience was. Through my videos, you'll see that I practice active investing of my long term holdings through swing trades. A swing trade is when we purchase a stock and we plan to hold it for at least several days, preferably multiple weeks or even several months. And we want to sell out of it before we see a big decline in the price of that stock. I hope that watching my videos and watching me sell stocks makes it easier for you to sell some stocks. All right, so taking a look at the charts today, you can see we got a small recovery from Friday's downturn. And I'm using the Spider S&P 500 ETF as an index to the S&P 500. So this is the daily candle for today for how the S&P 500 is trading. And it's great news for us. It's a little bit of bullish action. And because the market is going up, we don't have a lot of sell triggers hitting. Most of our sell triggers for the shares we own they get activated when price goes down. So we had quite a few sells on Friday and Thursday of last week. But this week we have two stocks to look at. First one we're going to look at is Howmet. And Howmet is an aerospace engineering company. Today we have opposite movement in this particular stock compared to the S&P 500. 2 days ago, we had a price trigger to sell on Thursday when this candle went down all day. However, we did not sell. We didn't have a continuation of that downturn. We actually had it going up on Friday. But since we do have a continuation of 2 days ago of that sell trigger being activated, we're going to go ahead and sell 3 shares. I like to be maxed out with Howmet at 12. We currently have 9, so we're going to sell 3 shares. Now, unfortunately, the 9 shares that I own, they are all purchased at a higher price than the current price of the equity. So we'll take a look and see what this limit order, this sell order is set at. And it is set at 186.11. Now, I do have 3 shares that I purchased at a price lower than that. That's at 184.90. So we'll come in here to HWM. We have to set a sell order. We want it to last. We don't want to come into the active trader because if we set it here and it doesn't sell today, it will deactivate. And then I'll have to reset it tomorrow. So we come over here to set a sell order. We right click on the price. We want to sell 3, and the current price is 182.07. I bought at 184.90, so we're going to take 10% of the first digit, which is 10, and we're going to add 10 cents to the overall purchase price of 184.90 and make it an even 185. And that's good till canceled, and that's extended hours. We're going to confirm and send. And now we have a limit order for those 3 shares at my least purchase price last. Now, they did have earnings 2 days ago. They had a pretty decent earnings. Their earnings actual was, we'll just call it 5 cents higher than the estimated. I don't know what their guidance was, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at our next stock, which is Twilio, TWLO. All right, so taking a look at Twilio, you can see that 4 days ago, we had price activated when price fell below our fast-moving average. And then the next day, we did not have a continuation of the price fall, so we did not sell. And then on Friday, we had price fall below our slow-moving average, which activated a sell trigger. However, today, we have price moving back up, so I am not going to sell, even though we have what looks to be a downward trend a strong downward trend on the MACD of our MACD line crossing below our signal line, but price is above the midline of the histogram. If this was below the midline of the histogram, I might consider selling if it had been moving up, because it not only is it in a downtrend, it's below the midline. And However, we also have the RSI in an upward trend. So we are going to hold on to Twilio until tomorrow, or at least we'll take a look at it tomorrow and see if we have a continuation up or if price turns back around and moves with Friday's price action. Now that takes care of our downward price action hitting sell triggers for our specific equities. I do have stocks that are going into earnings both this afternoon and tomorrow morning, so we'll take a look at those. We'll look at this afternoon's first using our afternoon chart. The afternoon chart. Now we have two going to earnings this afternoon. One is Axon. They create the body cameras that police wear. Now I have one share of Axon. However, that price I purchased at over $900. So we're not going to sell it. Hopefully Axon will have a good earnings and we'll have price action move up. The other is Palantir Technologies. They go this afternoon. So before we make a decision on Palantir, we're going to go back to our trader chart. We're going to take a look at Palantir. And you can see this is a stock that I day trade. Now I just bought 8 Palantir not too long ago, so we're going to set a sell order for those 8. 5, 6, 7, 8 come up here, and I purchased those at 160.45. So we're going to sell those. We'll see what happens at 161. Typically, what happens during earnings with a volatile stock like this, price may actually spike up. I typically usually set it, again, 10% of the first digit of the 100 would be 10. So typically I would set it at 160.55, but I'm just going to go to 161 and hope, if it spikes up, great. That'll be a little bit more profit. So we're just going to set 8 at a cool 161. Now I like to be maxed out at 32. As you can see, I already have 38 shares. I did something I normally don't do. I added to my position by buying 6 more additional stocks or shares. So I'm going to place a sell order for those 6 additional purchases, and we're going to go ahead and sell those now. Hopefully it's not going, so we will. There it goes. We just sold those 6 over here. You can see the sell ticket. Excuse me, sell confirmation. And now I'm going to sell the additional block of 8, and I'm going to sell that at the current price of 160.28. We'll see if that goes through, and here's our sell confirmation. All 8 went through. Now on those 14 shares, I bought those at roughly, we'll round all of those shares down to 143. Price is at 160, so that's $17. So the $17 on the 14 shares is a little over $230. I was thinking about keeping all of those shares, thinking that Palantir may actually go up. This basically is acting like a meme stock, which is why I set one block for sale at 161. If it goes up a little bit higher than the 160.14, great. If not, price may end up going down from people taking profits. They just signed a contract with the government and that's $10 billion that they just signed latter part of last week, Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm going to assume their guidance is going to be good. Their price is probably going to be good. They're probably going to exceed their earnings. And if that happens, there's 2 things that can happen. Price is just going to skyrocket up, or people will start taking profits. But I wish I was going to be home and I would be able to record this and play this for you in the video, but I have to leave shortly. So I will not be here when they go to earnings at 4 o'clock. So it is exciting to watch something like this happen. If you've seen some of the other videos, you've seen where price can go down, up significantly. And sometimes I day trade during that particular moment. I typically don't trade during earnings, and the type of trades I don't guess. A lot of people will trade during earnings. They'll make their guess in advance, but I wait until price action to dictate my decisions. So the trades that I do make will be based on price movement. So if price were to dip, say $15, if I were going to be here this afternoon, then I might buy in, because that's a pretty good drop for Palantir at that moment. And they may spike up, so I might set a sell order. If I were to buy in at $15 or $20 lower than the current price this afternoon, I might set a sell order for the existing price, or maybe $10 higher, to catch the spike up. But I'm not going to be here this afternoon, so I won't be able to take advantage of any price action that may occur. So now we'll go back to tomorrow morning's earnings report. All right, so we'll start with TAP. We purchased 8 shares of those at $62.47. Well, we have another day trading stock, but we're going to go ahead and take care of our TAP here. So what I'm going to do is just cancel this order, and we're going to place a sell order for TAP. I'm going to come down here, type in TAP, and we'll come in here, hit create a sell order. We're going to sell 4. We purchased them for, again, $62.47. So if we take 10% of the first digit of 6, that's going, or of 60, that's going to be 6 cents. So we're going to add 6 cents to our 47 cent, and that is 53. So we're going to set a sell order at 62.53. Good to cancel. You know, it's very possible, unlikely, but it is possible that price can spike up tomorrow morning for earnings. If it does, great, we'll sell. We sell those 4 at a profit. So moving on over to Yum, I have 3, and we bought 3 of those at $149.17, and I max out at 4. So we're going to sell 1, so at least keep 2. So we'll do the same here. We'll just type in Yum. We'll pull that up. We're going to sell 1, and we bought it at $149.17. So 10% of our first digit of the hundreds place is 10 cents. So $149.27. Good till cancel. Zoetis. I bought 3 of these at $177 right there. So we're going to cancel 1 of the $194.78, and we're going to place a sell order. Create another ticket. Right click in here to pull up the ticket. We're going to sell 1. I maxed out at 4 with Zoetis. So we're going to sell 1. No, excuse me. We're going to sell 2. We bought them at $177.47. So 10% of the 100s digit is $177.57. No, I know it's only 10 cents higher, but in case if price spikes up, price can spike up during earnings and then fall right back down. So if it does spike up and we sell and price falls, at least we've got money to put somewhere else. So that's why I set the sell orders. If our price is already lower than our purchase price, I always just set it for 10% of our first digit of what our purchase price is. I'd rather have money to spend than shares just sitting there, because I try not to sell at a loss. I'll just hold it, and we will collect dividends as long as we hold it. Most of the stocks I have pays a dividend. So moving on over to Marriott, I only have 2 shares, and we've purchased those, both of them at 302 and 303 and 304. We're going to cancel the highest one. That way, if this sells, we at least one that is collecting the gains as the profit rises, or as the price rises, if it indeed does. Transdigm, I only own 1. We purchased that at $14.85, so we've got a nice little gain here. Hopefully price goes up. If it drops tomorrow, it can easily drop $200 during earnings. Transdigm is a high-priced stock, so when we have a stock that's high-priced, the movement can be massive. So $200 on a $1,600 stock is a typical move in a day if it goes in either direction. So I've created sell orders for all of the 5 stocks that we have going to earnings tomorrow morning. So now we're going to go back to our trade. We want to save this. So save this workspace. Saving that. Now we're going to go back to our day trades through charts and continue with our purchases. Now price is going up. Price fell on Thursday and Friday, which hit some sell triggers, and we have the market moving up today. So we do have some possible buy opportunities. But before we move any further, if you could please hit that like, share, and subscribe button, that would be most incredible. Well, if you keep watching my videos and you watch how I buy my stocks, maybe that will end up helping you more easily buy your stocks. So the first one we'll take a look at is DraftKings, which is DKNG. So we've had a little bit of consolidation here for, well, we'll just call it from July 10th. We'll just call it 20 days. So for 20 days, we've not really gone anywhere but sideways. We've got some price movement up after dropping for 2 days, like many other stocks that fell for 2 days. Now, I'm not going to wait for tomorrow to see if we have confirmation if price continues to rise. And the reason is if I go to my 1 month chart, which we're going to go to just 3 years and a month aggregation on the candle. So each candle aggregates in 1 month time frame. We were just for the last, 1, 2, 3, we crossed 3 months ago, price crossed below our slow moving average, but we actually crossed 2 months ago, but we have a confirmation. Price could have fallen back down. It could have started here, gone up, come back down. So we might not have a confirmed cross. There we got 3 energy stocks that sold on our day trading. So we have a confirmed cross. So because we have a confirmed cross on the 1 month candle aggregation, we're going to go back to our daily chart, which is the 3 month and 1 day. This is what we do our day trading on, and we're going to just go ahead and buy. I buy DraftKings in blocks of 4, so we're going to max out. We currently have none, and we're going to max out DraftKings at the 16. Because not just because we have price moving up, but because we have a confirmed crossover on our 1 month chart. So before we purchase, I can remove that drawing because we're no longer below the 1 month time frame of the slow moving average, and we're going to purchase these at $44.86. And there we go. We've got 16 DraftKings, and we just have another sale in our day trading activities. Neat. The next one we're going to look at is Johnson & Johnson, which is J&J. And there we go. All right, now I like to have 4, but we were down to 3 today, and not too long ago we just sold a Johnson & Johnson in our day trading activities. So we're going to go ahead and buy not only the one for our day trading that we sold several minutes ago, we're also going to buy one because we had price cross back above our fast moving average, and we have confirmation of continuation of that today. So we're going to buy 2 of Johnson & Johnson. Coming back into our active trader. So there we have our 2 at $169.95. So that takes care of that. Our next one is MasterCard. Oh, and Johnson & Johnson, they went to earnings back here on the July 16th. So MasterCard is MA. Now, MasterCard, we have price went back above the slow moving average 5 days ago, but we did not ever purchase that cross from that being triggered because we had price move down, down. Even though it went up, it was moving back down all day, and it moved back down again on Friday. So we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We had 4 days of where we didn't actually have a confirmation, but we do have. I'm going to call this confirmation. Right now, we do not have any MasterCard, so we're going to max out at 4. I like to buy those in blocks or sets of 1. So we're going to buy 4 of those at $5.68 We also have earnings. That one did not go, so price moved up, or somebody's not buying it, so we'll go to 8 cents. That didn't go, so we'll go to 10 cents. What is the ask? All right, so we'll go to 568. Maybe that'll go. There we go, finally. All right, so if you'll notice, we just had price move down, what, 60 cents? We'll call it 50, back to 45. We'll call it 55 cents. I just bought it at 568. Price moves pretty quickly. So our next stock is Meta. I know I only have 3 of those. I like to have 4, so we're just going to buy 1 more. Current price, where did it go? Did it go up or down? All right, we got that at 773.24. If you watched any of the previous videos, you've seen that Meta has just been knocking it out of the park for the last 2 years. They had a great earnings from expected 584 earnings per share. They're up to 714, and they are investing a great deal of money in AI. Just like what I did with Palantir, if price does continue to go up over the next several days and weeks, I probably will size up and purchase another share at some point, but we'll see what happens to Meta as time goes on. Next stock we're going to look at that triggered is Monster Energy Drink, MNST. All right, so here's Monster Energy Drink. You can see possibly that this is a stock that I also day trade. I sold out here. We had price fall down from, we'll say, $63.23. It's now at $60.37, so we'll round that to $3. So we had a $3 price fall. Actually, more than that. We're down to $58.09. But the last 2 days, we've seen price increase. So we're going to go ahead and max out. And with Monster Energy Drink, to be maxed out with our full 4 sets of purchases is at 12. So we're going to purchase 12 of those at the current price, hopefully at $60.38. Hopefully price doesn't move up. It did move to $60.39. See how quickly that was? So hopefully we'll get our 12 here at $60.39. You don't have any sellers. No sellers are selling at $60.39. There's 17 people waiting, 17 other orders waiting. So we're just going to go ahead and move that to $60.40. And there we go. Those 2 extra cents aren't that big a deal. And our last one is Verizon. All right. So we are currently maxed out from our old max position at 12. I've recently increased my max position to 16 for Verizon, which means we're going to buy 4 more. 3 plus 1, and we're going to hopefully that stays at $42.97, and it did. So we now are maxed at 16 instead of the previous 12 with blocks of 3. It's 16 with blocks of 4. And what I'm calling blocks or sets, I typically call them blocks, is I typically look for 4 opportunities to purchase a particular stock. For my accounting purposes, I will sell in equally as I sell down. It'll be in blocks or sets of 4. Or excuse me, blocks or sets that total 4 blocks. So that's just how I trade. That's how I started trading. Try to save capital. When I first started trading, I would just buy, and then when price reached a point at the time when I was learning how to trade, I would just sell all of it. And then, say for example, I would sell here, and then I would miss the buy-in on this particular candle, and I might buy here, and then I would buy all in, and then I would sell down here, and I would sell everything. So as a swing trader, I was losing money. So by deciding to hold on to the shares when price falls, that saved me a little bit. And at least it kept me from losing money, even though the portfolio would be going down in value, or the shares of the stocks, the value of the stocks that I had in Verizon would go down. I'm not losing money. I've lost no money until you sell. You lose no money in trading unless you sell at a lower price. Loss of value is not loss of money. Now, I don't know when I originally bought the previous 12 shares that I had, but it was before May the 5th. It was probably even before price fell in February. So I've been holding on to these 12 Verizon for quite some time, but we have price going back up, and I purchased those at 45.46. Verizon is not a highly fast moving stock. It might take a month to get there. If it continues upwards, it can easily take a month for Verizon to get there, but Verizon pays a nice handsome dividend. They pay a little over 6% in dividend, close to 6.5%, I believe. And so I am looking at my list, and I missed a stock. We're going to take a look at LNG. An LNG Cheniere Group. They sell liquid nitrogen gas, and I'm definitely going to be maxing out there, and my LNG max is 4. Not much at all. We're going to purchase these for at $240.98. We have a cross, and I'm not going to wait for a continuation. We're a pretty good distance of our MACD line past our signal line, and we have a strong movement in action on the MACD. We have a strong RSI uptrend, and also I'm not waiting for the confirmation, mainly because it's LNG, and Donald Trump just secured an agreement with the European Union to buy lots and lots of natural gas from us. Donald Trump's plan is to get the EU off from purchasing fuel from Russia. So because of that, we should see a great amount of return from LNG over the next several years or decades. Let's see. So I'll grab my phone. How many years to purchase from the EU or from the US by the EU LNG? All right, difficult spitting that out. 3 years. So the agreement is to buy 3 years of fuel at $750 billion. So the next 3 years, as long as they fulfill the agreement, and we'll see how that goes, we should do quite well. So let's take a look at our sell and buy list, activities we had for the day. So we sold Palantir, and we set a sell order. Hopefully we have price action that triggers that sell. We put sell orders for Marriott, Zoetis, not you, Dow. Let me change that. We had Marriott, Zoetis, Yum, and Tap. So that shouldn't be here. So we'll delete that. Sorry about that. So we set sell orders for Marriott, Zoetis, Yum, and Tap. And we bought DraftKings, Johnson & Johnson, LNG, MasterCard, Meta, Monster Energy Drink, and Verizon. If you are following me and you choose to make some of these trades I'm making, because you can see that I'm doing good work, I'm actually making a little bit of money over time. If you're looking to invest over time and make money over the next several years, then I certainly might be helpful for you. Of course, if you choose to follow me and you choose to make my trades, just know that I'm not an expert. This is not financial advice, and you can lose all of your money, especially if you choose to make decisions other than what I'm making. But at least this gets you started. At least this might help enforce your current trading activities. All right, it's 5:17. It's an hour after earnings. So let's just take a quick look at the price action of both Axon Technologies and Palantir. So again, Axon is the company that makes the cameras that police wear, the body cams. They had a great earnings. They had an estimated earnings of only 8 cents, and their actually earnings per share was $2.12. Palantir had an estimated earnings of only 9 cents, and their actual was 16 cents per share. Now with their price going up, I did buy 8 shares at 167.68, and I immediately put a sell order in for 168, but price is now going down. I doubt it's because of guidance, because they actually gave pretty good guidance for the remainder of the year and going on into next year. So maybe it's just some people taking profits. Maybe this will just be short term. But even if it isn't short term, Palantir over the next several years, they're going to go up as well. Everything having to do with AI. So I took a chance, bought 8, hoping that we might catch some of the movement up. Hopefully it'll go up higher. Again, it doesn't matter if it goes up, but if it does, hopefully I'll be sitting here while I'm recording and catch some more moves up. So we're going to go down, and we are now going to see what our results were for trading today. For today, our trading activity, we have a total realized gains of $284.26, and for the year to date, our portfolio is $12 or 12.85% compared to the S&P 500 at 6.85%. We've seen a 1.5% drop in the last 5 days. And that's because I have a higher concentration of all of our funds being in a roughly 200 stocks, as opposed to the S&P 500. So both when it's going up and when it's going down, we see faster movement. Who said Mondays are bad? Today wasn't a bad day. But anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope I'm helping you. I look forward to making more videos to make your trading journey a little bit easier.